everyone. We are so excited today to have Linda V. Taylor with us. She is in town teaching, and you know what? She's going to do a live Q&A with us, and she's got so much to show, and she's excited to answer your questions. You know what? I'm just going to give it away to you, Linda. Take it away.
Thank you.
You're the pro.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, hello, friends. I haven't done this before, so I'm really excited to do it. Like Diana said, we are going to do a demonstration, which we're going to go to the machine now and do that, and then we'll come back here, and then if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer those. And I want to thank my friends that are here that stayed from class. Thank you, guys. And so we have lots of support, and so let's get started on our quilting.
All right, I'm going to pan you over so you can see the live audience. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Where are you guys from?
North Dakota.
Montana.
Montana.
Oklahoma.
Look at them, all the way out down here. Okay.
All right. So we're going to take you over to Linda and get over here and get set up. Sorry about the little bit of the vibration here, but we're going to try to get zoomed in and get a little bit closer so that way you can see. Okay.
Okay.
All right, whenever you're ready.
I have a couple of different ovals, and I'm going to use a smaller oval right now. But these are very useful, and they have a lot of cool angles on them to help you see through. And they put Property of Linda's Electric Quilters right in the middle, so I can't see where the middle is. But that's okay. I'll figure that out. I do have a dot here, and so I'm going to place that over where I think that middle part is. So I'm placing this one horizontal, okay? And I will be dragging my threads around on this, but I'll cut them later. As I go around, I'm just going to kind of get that started. Just place it like that. Keep your machine right next to your template. Yes, you can stop, and you can reposition your hand. You come around this way. I have the extended base on the bottom. Okay, and I will cut that thread. I know that's bothering somebody right now. So there we go. Now I'm going to place it. Just kind of move it out of the way, and you could bring your thread up and cut it there. I'm hoping that that's right in the middle. So I'm going to start right there, around this way. So this one is being placed vertically, and you could make a lot more reference lines on those if you wanted to, you know, your horizontal and your vertical lines, etc. Now I'm placing it right in the center again, and this one is going to be diagonal, and if you, on my template, I have a vertical and horizontal line. So again, if you had those markings, that would help you make sure that you had those lined up exactly the right way. Also, your quilt needs to be very tight when you're using templates. So I've got it, you know, kind of extra tight both ways, and my clamps are kind of extra tight there. And now I'm going to come over, and then I'll have my design in there, and I'll show you how you can turn that into something wonderful. Coming all around, and I will, again, just clip my little threads in between when I'm finished. But right now, I'm going to come through this little area, and I'm going to put little swirls in each one of these little areas. So I'm coming around, just a little swirl, just a little swirl, as we're starting to decorate this. And perhaps I could have one of my assistants get me a little circle, because I need a smaller circle, maybe a 2-inch circle. Okay, so in those areas, I put little swirls, and already it's changing. It's looking better. Let me cut this thread right here. Turn these scissors the right way. There, and there. There we go. Now I'm doing pattern meandering in these areas. And pattern meandering is, this pattern meandering is going to be perpendicular to the bottom line that I'm putting it on, around this design. There we go. And you want to keep them as even as you can and as straight as you can. They sure come in handy a lot of times because they're a simple design. People often ask me, how do you know what to do where? Well, you know what? You have an arsenal of simple designs, and for the most part, those are the ones that you're going to be using. You don't have to come up with something new every time you do something. And if you like doing something and you do it well, what's wrong with doing it several times over? Okay, now I am going to, let me finish that one right there. I started in the middle. There we go. Now I'm going to echo this design. First one I'm going to echo around. And then the second time I echo, I'm going to add teardrops on the outside. Just be as smooth as you can. Now I'm adding a teardrop, echo, teardrop, echo, teardrop, echo, teardrop. Pretty easy, huh? Just keep those teardrops coming straight out on the right angle so that they're not leaning. And depending on what area you needed to put that in, you could continue to echo and add more teardrops if you needed to. So now I'm going to go into the middle. Yes, this is exactly the right size of circle that I need. There we go. I'm going to come around like this, and I change position. Bring it around like that. And on the outside of this, even though the edges are not even, that doesn't make any difference. I'm going to put feathers. So this will be sort of like a feathered leaf. There we go. Try and reach out into those odd areas as they come around. And on wreaths, you know, I think people panic as they get toward the end. They're like, ooh, do I do one feather, two feathers? The less you think of that, the better off you are. There we go. And let's do another circle on the inside of that one. Get this over here. There we go. And I'm going to put pearls, long arm pearls, all around this one. And as I come around, I follow the line over, follow, and then round, follow, and then round. If you just try to do circles, they will start looking like E's. So there we go. They're nice and round little pearls. Look at that. What shall we put in the middle? Let's see. Oh, this is awesome. Are you ready for this, guys? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, this dot is kind of off center. I don't know who put that dot there. Because I'm going to move the dot more like here. I'm going to do this spinning fern in the middle. So it's going to come around like this and back to the middle and back. You have to keep it really curvy. Middle and back. Middle and back. Middle and back. And there we go. We have a really cool medallion anywhere we want it, and that was quick, wasn't it? That was fun. All right. We can take a look at that on the double wedding ring because it's a little bit different there, but pretty much the same. So you can see what it looks like in a different shape, and we'll get a picture of that. We'll go over now. And answer some questions. Do you have some questions? I hope so.
All right, well, let's head on over there.
All right. You can take a picture of that?
I will.
And a picture of the one over here.
So here's a close-up really good for you to see. All those awesome techniques she was just talking about. Now think about some questions you might have. We're going to walk over and you have a chance to ask for questions. Okay, we're going to sit back up here. What's fun about live is you get to see us shake and all. Trying to get it set back up. Okay. All right, you guys. I know some of you have got to have had questions, so let's get some questions going. You can just talk. You want to talk about some of your stuff?
I
right?
can. I want to show them
We're ready.
this design. I don't know if you can get a close up of that. This is the one that's on the double wedding ring. It's exactly what I did, except I didn't do it. You know, I mean, I varied it a little bit from what I showed you, but it's basically the same thing using the cute little ovals. Just some really fun stuff.
She says, "Will you be coming back next summer?"
Well, will I be invited? I guess that's the question, Diana.
She will be invited, so she will come back.
I will come back.
All right, here we go. How long have you been quilting? Now they're coming fast.
I have been quilting for 25 years, and I started in 1993, bought my machine at the state fair.
What settings do you use for your freehand? So I guess maybe what speed or...
What speed? Well, it's hard to, it depends on if I'm going to go, you know, really big feathers and stuff like that. I prefer constant for my settings when I am using my freehand, unless I'm doing like around templates or stitching in the ditch or using tools, then I'm going to use my regulated stitch. Or if I'm in really tiny mode, oftentimes I will use the Coast Regulate, which is an amazing feature.
What is your favorite tool to use?
Well, if I could only pick one, it would have to be my straight ruler for stitching the ditch, because you can't get away without it. And so, I mean, I couldn't give that one up. The next one would be the applique helper.
Lucy, we love watching all of her videos too in her quilt. She's like, she loves to watch you quilt and all your awesome videos.
Thank you.
Let's see. She said, we have Leanne from New Zealand that wants to know, when are you coming back to New Zealand?
Well, Leanne, I can't wait to get back to New Zealand. I did have back surgery last year, and so that set me back a little bit, but I'm feeling much better now. We have wonderful friends, Frank and Melissa Gelder in New Zealand, and we want to visit them again too. So whenever we can arrange that trip, we'll be happy to be there. Thanks for asking.
Is there anything that's too much quilting?
Not in my book. There's not. You can't do too much quilting. However, the quilt has to be balanced. So you can't have a whole lot of heavy quilting in one area and not balance out the rest of the quilt. So whatever you do, if you like heavy quilting, good for you. If you don't, good for you. Just make sure that it's balanced over the entire quilt.
Leanne just wanted to make sure you knew that she loves the best of both worlds, and thanks for doing it.
Thank you so much. I love doing the best of both worlds because I think using the computerized quilting with the freehand is a vision of the future, and it's here. It's awesome.
Marianne, yes, we actually sell the oval rulers online, so after this is over, we'll put a link on there for you. She has 3 different sizes, so we'll put those on. Is there a rule of thumb for the designs you choose?
A rule of thumb, I just do the designs that come into my head. Are you drawing all the time? That's what you should be doing, and whatever you draw, you can quilt.
She came back on and she said, such as curved designs within a square, straight designs within circles. Is there any rule, or is it just what you want?
Okay, I see what you're asking now. You do want to strike a balance if you can, and so oftentimes if the quilt has a lot of geometric designs on it, I will go to circles, feathers, and some softer designs to soften it up, because you want them to look at the quilting and the piecing. You want them to look at both, and if they're too much the same, it's just kind of boring. So if it's really soft and flowy, I'll throw in some straight lines somewhere, some geometric meandering.
We're still waiting on some more. Come on, you guys, she's here to answer your questions, so let's get some questions. We've had some really good ones. Keep asking.
You guys got any questions?
Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
They'll think of some.
Are you working on your next show quilt?
Sherry would like to know that answer to that too. I've had a show quilt for 2 years that's scaring me to death. Have you ever felt that way with one of your quilts? But I've like redesigned it 3 times, and I think that I just need to get it on and let it tell me what it needs. And I am going to start working on that right after Houston, and I am very excited. It will have computerized quilting on it and a lot of freehand, and it is the most beautiful quilt she has ever done, so wait for that.
Have you ever had burnout from custom quilting?
No, I haven't, because I change things up a lot. I have never got burned out on this. I can't tell you the passion and the joy that I feel when I get into my studio and quilt, which is why I'm not on Facebook a lot, just so you know, because I would rather quilt than do anything. I would. And except I love teaching too, but I get a lot of ideas when I'm teaching that I wish I could quilt. So, and I take a lot of notes while I'm doing it.
Are you going to get on the modern wagon and do any modern quilting?
I really appreciate the modern quilts, and I love looking at them, but it's not my style, I'm sorry to say. I mean, I love them. I wouldn't refuse to have one if somebody wanted to give me one, but it's not what I love. So I'm going to stick with what really, the passion that I feel for the art quilts especially.
Do you think you'd be going on the Gamble Cruise next year?
I think I will. Where are they going?
Yep. So they just announced and they're doing the Western or Eastern Caribbean. But
sounds really fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could see you on there. I think you do a good job. I don't know what that question is. Any questions that you guys can think of over there?
Sue has a question.
Would you ever do a class where you would let your students bring a quilt that they have made and you would help them figure out how to quilt it?
Did you hear the question? She wants to know if I'd ever do a class when they could bring a quilt and I would help them do it. It would depend on the size. I think we'd have to limit the size, or at least you could get a good start on it. But I think that would be a vision come true. I would love to do that, and but it would be like a week. I already have class. It would be a while because they'd be you'd be working, and I would love to do that because when I had my business and was doing so many custom quilts and supervising other people doing that many quilts, I got to do that. I mean, I would design and tell them exactly what to do on the quilts and watch them come to life. I mean, 15,000 quilts, I can do that. So that would be an awesome class. Thank you.
Okay. Do you let customers tell you what to quilt versus what the quilt needs, keeping in mind their budget to work with it? For example, applique quilt, meandering. Do you let them tell you, or you kind of, you know?
If somebody, well, I'm in a different place than a lot of folks out there, where if you're just starting, you kind of really listen to the customer. I only take quilts in if they want my art on their quilt. So if they're like ready to let that quilt go and let me do what I dream on that quilt, then I do that. But when I was had a shop and was doing that many quilts, you do have to take into consideration that customers' wishes and desires and how much quilting they have and how much they have to spend. But if they're smart, if they are wise, they are going to take a look at the quilts that you have hanging around and realize that you see more quilts, you do more quilting, and you are really the expert on the quilting. And so they would let you do what you need to do on that quilt.
What are your favorite threads? My
favorite threads are colored.
Lots of color, right?
Lots of colored threads. And I love all the popular brands and all. I love the new, they're really embroidery threads, like the Superior's Magnifico and Fantastico and the Variegateds. And I love the quality threads that American Efort puts out. I love all the YLI and the YLI designed by Linda threads are really nice. So I'll make sure that the quality of thread that I put in my quilt is going to be there for years to come. I don't look for cheap thread, but I do like to use a lot of color thread.
Do you know the best metallic thread to use on your Gamble?
I haven't had any trouble with any of the metallic threads. I used to, before we got the tension gauge, the toe attention gauge, which can really help us. And I think that if you use the metallic thread in the bobbin as well as you do in the top, you will have better luck with it. And you need to learn about the tension on your machine, and then you won't have trouble with it. I don't know. I think all of the metallic threads are way better than they were 25 years ago. And I bought big cones of them then, so.
I love your Gamble t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
When you combine the best of both worlds, do you consider it custom? If you're using computer and freehand on a quilt, would that be custom to you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be a combination to be custom. You can do custom freehand. You can do custom with your computerized, but putting them both together, that's absolutely custom.
And then we have, do you enjoy judging shows? Is it easy? Is it hard?
It's very hard. It's very hard to judge because I have been on the other side. And so I know how much it means to me when I have put my heart and soul into a quilt, and and it does nothing in a show, or I know what it means to me when I win Best of Show. So I know how important it is to be very fair and to try not to be so subjective about what you like, but to really look at the quality and to go by the standards that are there. I do love being with the other judges. I learn from them, and it's fun rubbing shoulders with all of those people. So yeah, it's kind of fun, but it is really hard work. And at the end of the day, and the end of 2 or 3 days when you've judged that long, you just cannot believe it's like complete exhaustion. So.
All right, we'll do a couple more because
Okay.
we keep you talking all day. And this might be something that you can answer from years ago. What was the minimum and maximum you would charge for custom back when you were quilting for custom?
I didn't have a maximum. I had a minimum. I didn't touch anything for less than $50, but that could be a little wall hanging. That was quite complicated, and if you did it by the square inch that I was charging, it would be like $12, so I had to set a $50 minimum. And no, I didn't have a maximum because some of the things that I did, like the supper quilt that Dr. Don Locke did, that is 16 feet wide and 7 feet tall, and it's been all over the world now. Over 1 million people have seen it. I mean, it's a priceless quilt. So what do you charge? You just have to set a price when it comes to that.
Okay. Well, let's finish it up. You've been teaching all day, so let me come over and thank you. I'm going to hide in front of the camera.
Don't knock it over.
You're fine.
Oh, I just kicked it.
All right, so we were so excited to have you.
Thank you for inviting
Thanks for
me.
coming and answering
bet.
all kinds of questions.
Mhm.
Everybody that was on, thanks for watching, and we really appreciate you guys asking questions and just talking to Linda. She loves talking to you guys and she's got so much knowledge. And I've been around her forever and ever and ever. And she just has tons of knowledge, so we're so happy to always have you here every year when you can come.
Keep on quilting and comforting the world.
That's right.
That's our job.
All right, everybody, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.